Hi YouTubers, it's George. This is part 2 of the Aqua-Marine or NASA 5600 Marine VHF radio or transceiver, and I'm doing some work on it. And a previous video I actually changed the loudspeaker, but I didn't show that on video, in the actual video, because I thought it was fairly straightforward, just knotting 2 screws and soldering a loudspeaker in there, so I didn't bother to film that. Today I've been working on the heatsink, and the heatsink is what it says. It takes the heat from the power transistors and dissipates them into the air. So the heat goes from the transistors, which are mounted on this aluminium plate upside down, and it transmits it to the air to keep the transmitter cool. It's only for transmit, it's not for receive, so it really doesn't do anything. Originally it had this plastic cover on here, but you can see it's split and broken, and I assume that it's been dropped on the back or bashed at some time. So I removed this plastic cover because it's not really needed. So I chuck that in the bin, and what I've done is, using a wire brush and a Dremel, I've cleaned all the corrosion off of here and repainted it black, which is a simple thing to do. No point in videoing me painting black paint, so I didn't bother. And the next job is I've got to find some new screws for in here, and I can see if I can get these rusty screws out, because I'll need to replace those. I can't remember if the ones underneath are rusty. They're perfectly working order, so I'm going to see if I can get the rusty screws out, which will make it easier to service in the future. And I do intend to get this working for myself. I do have RYA, Royal Yachting Association, license to operate marine radios, so that's perfect. Right, so I need to find some screws for that, and then try and get these I don't know whether they're self tappers, but I want to get them out and replace them. And the only other thing I did is, it does cover the microphone. I'll show you that in probably another video. And the switch was noisy in the microphone, so I used switch cleaner to clean the switch, the transmit switch on the microphone. I used this switch cleaning lubricant, and I use that on the volume control. Now, despite having all these trays of screws and screws and screws and screws and screws and springs and washers and things, bits and pieces, I've got the screws which are the right thread, but they're really too long, so I'm going to have to hacksaw them down, and these are to go in here, and they go in here like that. So I've got the right screws, but they're too long, so I'm going to have to cut those down, because if you put them in too long they might go into the circuit board. I don't really like them too long. Right, so that's a little job, so let's do that next. Let's get a hacksaw and cut them down. Right, let's do that. And all I'll do is I'll put them in the vise with a nut on, and then hacksaw them through. Right, well, I'm still replacing screws. I had to drill this one out, which was there, and I put a screw in there. I'm going to drill that one out. It's still got a bit of a slot on it, so I might be able to get, a Phillips head, so I might be able to get a screwdriver in there and the pliers on the back and give it a twist, and it might come out. But what happens is they rust into the plastic, and they bite in. So the heat from the drill will help get the screws out. I'll see if I can get it out with a screwdriver and make it life easier. I have to take the front, loosen the front off, so I can get pliers underneath there to turn the thread as well. Right, let's see if we can get that out. Well, that's it, that's the screws replaced. There's one there, new one there, new one there, new one there. That's the original, so those rusty ones are gone now. And all the others are in order, that can be removed. And because I've had to have this front off again, I've checked and the speaker is okay and I haven't disturbed it because it's right in the way there. That's okay, that's all neat. Just make sure I haven't knocked anything. I think they're okay. Move the resistor away from them. These things should be upright like the capacitors. That's the audio stage there. That's the audio, and that's looks like a power regulator. It all seems to be working. Dual watch. So really I'm waiting to get the transistor put in the board. I can wash the cases down, I'll just give them a scrub, make them a bit more respectable. Top and bottom cover. And as far as I can go, I think, for the time being.